All right, and we are
Hi!
live. Hey, everybody.
I'm Jess, and this is Colton, my husband. Be like asking things in the comment box and like saying whatever you want to say. I really want you to get in the right mindset. Be thinking in your mind on really self-reflection on your life and your just think about your life the last week on a daily basis and answer yes or no to these questions. Hit snooze button 5 times or more than once, you have a hard time getting up in the morning. Answering your head yes or no. Hard to go to bed, even if you got 8 hours of sleep, you feel unrested. No breakfast because you don't have time. You usually rely on stimulants to pick you up in the middle of the day. You're sitting all day due to a desk job or just the environment you're in. You resort to fast food or frozen food. It's just the quickest option that still sounds appetizing. And you're tired. You skip meals. No motivation to work out. By the end of the day, you just don't feel the motivation to go pump 100 burpees. You know, that's pretty normal. But this is you. Be answering yes or no. Out of control cravings, where you just really, really need something to satisfy some kind of urge, some kind of craving. And then you're up late and you just have a hard time sleeping. So if you answered yes or no, this webinar is designed for you because we want to teach you how to get out of that life, because that life is so heavy. It is hard to live happily in that lifestyle. For me, that's where I was. In these images, you can see I definitely wasn't healthy. I wasn't like massively overweight, but I was definitely carrying an excess 20 pounds of just fluff and water retention and fat. And I did not feel confident, and I was did not know how to eat correctly. So just to give you a little background of like my history, I am actually a twin, and I have a twin brother, and I am the youngest of 13 kids. I know, it's crazy, and they're all from the same parents. So I am like the 13th child of a huge family, and I just grew up with like, my mom would just make like what fed us all, and that was great. Like, she fed us pretty good stuff, but my poor mom, she did not have time to eat. Like, it wasn't like she had like an eating disorder or anything, but she didn't have time to eat, and it was really confusing to me because my mom was, by the time I came around, was always overweight. She carried an excess 100 excess pounds probably. She had, her hormones were really out of whack. It kind of happens when you give birth through 13 children. So I always had this weird relationship with health and like being fit, because I was like, I always thought I was gonna, this sounds sad, but I always thought I was gonna turn out like my mom. Like, that's how you just, when you get older, you gain weight. Like, that's just how it happens, and there's no way to avoid it. And as I got older, I did gain weight. With like every year, I got thicker and thicker and gained more and more weight, especially during my teen years. So I was like, just set in my mind, I was like, that's just how I'm gonna be, and I kind of just embraced it. Like, that's not bad to have self-acceptance or anything, but like, why? You don't have to accept something that's not your fate, you know? So my poor mom didn't have time to eat, so she ate like once a day, just because she was so busy, and that's how she lived for years, and it just became her habit. And as a child, like growing up with that, I had a lot of confusion as to what food, like, I didn't understand how food should be used as a fuel to fuel your body. It was more just like, eat. My mom would always say she forgot to eat. This is a huge deal. When you're not fueling your body consistently throughout the day, it causes so many problems. And my mom knows that now. She's lost a lot of weight. It's really, really cool. But because of that, along with many other false philosophies, I struggled with weight growing up. I got into my like older teens. I actually got married and I moved out on my own, and I started modeling. And I loved it. It was really awesome. But I started seeing myself in front of a camera a lot and seeing images of myself. And I was like, holy smokes, that's what I look like. These are actually a little bit later after I lost some weight. But when I first started seeing the photos, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to look like that. Like, I don't recognize that person. Like, I didn't realize how much weight I had gained and how swollen my face was. And so modeling was what kind of jump-started me into being like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose weight. Like, I'm determined. So I started like researching, and I was going to find all these ways. And it was a struggle. There is so much information online that I was like, what is true and what isn't true? Who do I listen to? Who do I trust? And my smart Colton here knew a lot. He had a lot of information, but I was like, dude, you don't know, like that doesn't make sense, or you're so extreme, or why is that such a big deal? And I totally ignored him for like the first year of our marriage. I just did not pay attention to his advice. But I eventually started to learn that he was very right, and he had a lot of knowledge. And so I took what he taught me, and we learned together. We read many books together and studied a lot together, and we kind of took it on to the next level. And I found the motivation to really start to lose weight. So I started losing weight that was the first time that I actually really started to like transform my body. And then this is me now. And my biggest time of transformation happened in 3 months. So yeah, it was a couple of years that I was like trying to figure the whole thing out. But from the time that I actually figured out what worked to the time that I looked like this was 3 months, which is like the craziest thing to me, because after years of trying, I was like I was moving like at a snail's pace. So to have my body change so fast, I was like an identity crisis. I was like, well, who is that in the mirror? It was a good thing. It was a good identity crisis, because all of a sudden I was this person that I had seen in pictures. I was like, I want to look like that. And like all of a sudden that was me. I was like, I had never thought I could have like a toned arm, or like I had I did not like my arms for some reason. Like big mom arms, I felt like, and I was just always bloated. My stomach was always like out to here, and even if I was like eating good, and it was because of bloating. And anyways, so your body can change really fast is what I'm trying to say. You're a lot of transformation when you do what's right, when you do effective, when you develop effective habits. And so yes, it does take time, and there's no easy fix, but there are things that are really real that work, and there's things that are myths and fads. So we want to clarify to you what is true, and helping you understand and that's going to help you stay more motivated if you're seeing results. That's the biggest thing, is being able to see results. Oh, and this was just really cool because I had stopped doing modeling for 6 months and like worked on my body, really, really, really focused. And I did this shoot just a month or so ago, and I was shocked. I was just so happy because I truly was terrified that it was just the lighting in the bathroom. I was like, oh, I just have abs because it's the lighting in the bathroom. Like when I go in front of a normal professional camera, they're going to disappear. I was terrified. No, but they were still there, and so really did make a transformation. So this was just a little bit happy time. Just to give you another side-by-side example of my transformation, this was a year ago, the first image, well, I guess a year and a few months ago now, and then a year later. And so your body can transform so fast. So don't give up. Don't give up. So when I started realizing that there were things that worked, and I had figured out what worked, I've always been so passionate about health, but I just understand it. And so when I finally understood it, and I realized what a difference it made in my life, I was just like, I need to tell everybody. And I was like, my friends were always coming to me and asking me advice, and I started to take it more serious, and I got more training, and I got involved with my gym, CrossFit gym, and I got a lot more training. And I just realized that, and my husband, we had everything we needed to start our own company. And so I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's touch many lives. And we have touched many lives and helped people change their lives. And it's like the best feeling ever. It's the most like rewarding feeling in the entire world. I knew like when I was like 14 or 15 is when I really realized that I wanted to change people's lives. Like I wanted to be someone that people could be inspired by, and my ultimate goal in life is to become like a motivational speaker, be able to speak to groups of people and actually motivate them in that moment. So this has been huge for us and for me and my dreams. So we've been able to help. This is Lindsay. This is just for her. She lost 30 pounds. For her, it was losing a lot of excess weight she was carrying and just releasing those extra pounds. And it was a huge life changer. We just pushed out our information. She just applied it into her life. And that was mostly from the information we put out just on our social media and stuff. And so this was like hugely inspiring to me that she was able to apply it in her life and commit. She lost 30 pounds. She looks amazing. I'm so proud of her. This is Ashley. For her, it was about performing better. She was an athlete. So when you're feeling your body right and you develop healthy eating habits, you're going to perform at such a higher level in every area of your life, especially if you're an athlete. And then just like being able to get off those stubborn belly fat, you know, like if you are someone that, like for me for a long time, I did get pretty fit, but I just had this belly fat that like would not get off my belly. And it was the most frustrating things because if I felt my tummy, I could feel my abs, but I couldn't see them. I don't know if any of you experienced that, but it's like the most aggravating thing as a woman. A man probably experiences that too at some point, but it was like so annoying. So for her, it was about that extra fat.